Hello, pals. Today, I want to tell you a story. It is brimming with emotions and surprises. I hope you find it entertaining and stick with me through to the very end. Are you ready? Let's get started. When my stepfather uttered those cruel words, "You don't belong here anymore," it felt like the ground disappeared beneath me. I stood motionless, the weight of his rejection sinking in. The home that had been my sanctuary, filled with memories of my late mother, had suddenly become a place of exile. I felt like a stranger in the very space that once defined my childhood. He didn't hesitate, just turned his back and walked away, leaving only his heartless words behind. My chest ached, but through the storm of emotion, a single thought emerged with clarity: I will not let him break me. Things hadn't always been this bleak. After my father died, my mother remarried, and for a while, I believed she had found happiness again. My stepfather had seemed supportive in those early years, helping her through the sorrow. But when she passed too, something shifted in him. Or perhaps his true nature was finally revealed. He grew cold and harsh, especially toward me. It started subtly, passive comments about overstaying my welcome, or how I was just a reminder of the past. I never imagined it would end with him telling me to get out of the only home I'd ever known. That night, I quietly packed. Each item I folded carried echoes of joy, safety, and loss. I wanted to rage, to demand an answer, but I knew it would be pointless. He had already made his decision, and I wouldn't give him the satisfaction of watching me fall apart. Instead, I focused on one goal: survival, and rising beyond his cruelty. By morning, I was gone. One suitcase, a broken heart, and no real plan. He didn't even glance my way as I stepped out the door. I didn't exist to him anymore. I had no family left. Friends tried to help. A spare bed here, a warm meal there, but I didn't want to impose. I spent nights in rundown motels, watching my small savings disappear. The loneliness was brutal. At times, I doubted myself. Maybe I should have fought harder to stay. But something told me this was the start of something greater, even if I couldn't see it yet. I applied to every job I could find, desperate for a lifeline. Most replies were rejections. Still, I pushed on, until one day a small cafe hired me as a server. It wasn't much, but it was a beginning. The staff were kind, strangers who offered me more warmth than my own stepfather ever had. Slowly, I started to rebuild, but the pain he caused never fully faded. I didn't just want peace, I wanted justice. He had stripped me of my home, my dignity, and my sense of security. I needed to understand how he got control of the house my mother had always said would one day be mine. She had made that promise to protect me. After her death, I had been too lost in grief to question anything. But now, I started digging, reading through legal records, dusting off old files, trying to piece together the truth. And I found it. He had challenged her while behind my back, using a loophole and his position as her surviving spouse. It was quiet, sneaky, and it worked. I hadn't known any of this at the time. He took advantage of my silence. The discovery ignited a fire in me. I couldn't let him get away with it. With what little money I had left, I hired a lawyer. It was a gamble, one I couldn't afford to lose. But it was the only way to reclaim what my mother intended for me. The legal fight was draining. My stepfather lied through his teeth, acting like I was some entitled child trying to take what wasn't mine. He didn't realize how much I had uncovered: messages, transactions, inconsistencies in his story. And slowly, the cracks began to show. The man who once appeared invincible, so sure of himself, so above consequence, was beginning to crumble beneath the weight of his own deception. And just when I believed the worst was behind me, I uncovered something that flipped everything on its head. But that revelation, that's coming next. Stay with me, because the twist that's coming will change everything. After weeks trapped in a legal maze, the tension hit its breaking point. My stepfather, once smug and untouchable, sat diminished and worn, a shell of his former self. The courtroom had stripped him bare, exposing every lie, every manipulative tactic he'd used to claim what was never his. Still, the battle wasn't done. The real turning point was about to begin. While combing through the property documents, my lawyer made a discovery, one no one expected. Hidden among the paperwork was clear evidence of fraud. My stepfather had forged multiple signatures, including mine, in his attempt to overturn my mother's will and seize the house. It hit like a gut punch, but it also became the breakthrough we needed. When that evidence was presented in court, the atmosphere shifted. I saw the color drain from his face as the judge demanded answers. His lawyer stammered through a feeble defense, but the truth was undeniable. The forgery was obvious, and the damage was done. For the first time, I wasn't just surviving, I was winning. Justice wasn't just a hope anymore. It was real, and it was close. But then came the most stunning discovery of all. As the investigation widened, we uncovered another betrayal. My stepfather had quietly drained my mother's savings, a fund she had built over years to protect my future. He had siphoned it into private investments under his own name, erasing everything she had worked so hard to preserve for me. It was devastating, but it also solidified my resolve. This wasn't just about a house anymore. It was about honoring my mother's love, her sacrifices, and the life she wanted for me. The final verdict was a moment I'll carry forever. The judge returned the house to me and ordered my stepfather to repay every stolen cent. But beyond the material victory, it was the judge's words that struck deepest, calling his actions a calculated betrayal and a perversion of the law. I finally felt something I hadn't in a long time, peace. But the true healing came after the ruling. Walking through the front door again wasn't just returning to a structure, it was coming home. Every room echoed with memories of my mother, her voice, her laughter, her quiet strength. It wasn't just a building. It was her legacy. My stepfather, meanwhile, lost everything. The house, his reputation, and the illusion of power he had clung to for so long. From what I heard, he was forced to sell assets just to meet the court's demands. For a man who once controlled everything, it was a fitting collapse. In the months that followed, I poured myself into restoring the home. I painted the walls, repaired what had been neglected, and planted a garden in her honor, filled with her favorite flowers, and a bench where I could sit and remember her warmth. The wounds he caused faded with time, replaced by a deep, steady pride in what I had survived. His cruelty hadn't broken me, it had forged me. He said I didn't belong. But those words only pushed me to claim my place. I reclaimed my life. I defended my mother's wishes, and I discovered a resilience I never knew I had. My mother used to say, "Home isn't a place, it's a feeling." Now, as I stand in the home she loved, with her memory blooming all around me, I understand exactly what she meant. This is my home, and this time, it's mine forever. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please like, comment, and subscribe for more great stories. Don't forget to tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. Share your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing from you. See you next time, and take care.